But all right, so this particular chapter, as I'm reading it, I'm realizing like, yo, they getting more and more into religion, more and more into Christianity. And as I'm reading it, like I definitely didn't feel that energy in the beginning. So I'm not Christian. So therefore, for me, I'm able to kind of just read it, hear it, understand it, listen to it, take the game that I can from it. And we should be able to learn from anything. So I don't want to, turn anybody on, off, whatever, but, hear it out. Like I always say, take from it what's going to benefit you and leave what doesn't. So chapter 2, sealed instructions from the awakened imagination. Let's get to it. The first power that meets us at the threshold of the soul's domain is the power of imagination. I was first made conscious of the power, nature, and redemptive function of imagination through the teachings of my friend Abdullah. And through subsequent experiences, I learned that Jesus was a symbol of the coming of imagination to man, that the test of his birth in man was the individual's ability to forgive sin. That is, his ability to identify himself or another with his aim in life. Without the identification of man with his aim, the forgiveness of sin is an impossibility, and only the Son of God can forgive sin. Therefore, man's ability to identify himself with his aim through reason and his senses deny it, is proof of the birth of Christ in him. To passively surrender to appearances and bow before the evidence of facts is to confess that Christ is not yet born in you. Although, damn, ugh, hold up. Oh, yeah, we got to get back to that. Hold on. We got to read that last one. To passively surrender to appearances and bow before the evidence of facts is to confess that Christ is not yet born in you. We're gonna circle back to that. Although this teaching shocked and repelled me at first, for I was a convinced and earnest Christian and did not then know that Christianity could not be inherited by the mere accident of birth, but must be consciously adopted as a way of life. It stole later on, through visions, mystical revelations, and practical experiences, into my understanding and found its interpretation in a deeper mood. But I must confess that it is a trying time when those things are shaken, which one has always taken for granted. All right. Seest thou these great buildings? There shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Mark 13:2. All right, one more paragraph. Bear with me. Not one stone of literal understanding will be left after one drinks the water of psychological meaning. All that has been built up by natural religion is cast into the flames of mental fire. Yet, what better way is there to understand Christ Jesus than to identify the central character of the Gospels with human imagination, knowing that every time you exercise your imagination lovingly on behalf of another, you are literally mediating God to man and thereby feeding and clothing Christ Jesus, and that whenever you imagine evil against another, you are literally beating and crucifying Christ Jesus. Every imagination of man is either the cup of cold water or the sponge of vinegar to the parched lips of Christ. I need some chapstick. All right, so, and then the last sentence, let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. All right, so I want to circle back to that passage that moved me, that sentence that moved me. So therefore, man's ability to identify himself with his aim through reason, though reason and his senses deny it. So he's identifying himself with his aim, though reason and his senses deny it, is proof of the birth of Christ in him. To passively surrender to appearances and bow before the evidence of facts is to confess that Christ is not yet born in you. All right. What does that do, Lucille? For the Bible readers, for the true Christians, y'all got to tell me, what does that do for you? Because I'll tell you how it moves me. For me, it tells me that I'm not letting any perceived obstacle, challenge that looks like it's in my way, that looks like it's going to be one of these monumental tasks that I won't be able to accomplish, all these different things, no matter what's in my way. When you trust your purpose, when you trust my plan, when I'm trusting all these different things, there's nothing that can stop me from accomplishing my purpose and accomplishing my goals. So that's what I see. And the ability to still believe with all these things stacked up against us, that's what they're saying is the God in us, the Christ in us, whatever you want to call it, the creator in us. So damn, that's a real one for me. So it's not just about I guess it still comes back to knowing, to knowing, to trusting instead of believing. Like, we talk about belief a lot, but nah, when you know something, it's stronger than belief. Belief is when you don't know it. And when you don't know it, you can't assume it. So all those imaginations that we're having, creative things that we're bringing up to solve different issues that we may be facing, if we don't know, then we will never have the confidence to implement them when big challenges face us. So that's what I took from it. Hopefully y'all took something great from it.